Welcome back, everybody, to the Parts Unknown, known as the Clem and Claw Show. As usual, the second Tuesday and the fourth Tuesdays of every month, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 8:30 p.m. Central Time, 6:30 Pacific Time. But lately, who knows? Things have gotten away, but that's the normal time. Uh, First of all, as y'all know, I'm Clement Okufa. My guest, Klaus Webb. Uh, like we said, we've been off for 2 weeks, and when it comes to anything else, not much has happened until recently. So with that said, I'm going to head to Klaus Webb because nothing's happening in my world as of late.
Um, well, like I said, I'm Nick Fury 2.0. I'm working on Halloween costumes. So I got a couple of months early, but it's never too early to get sized and fitted properly. So that's what I'm doing for right now.
So yes, I do have some news that came up, but first we're going to do something that recently popped up this morning. For people who know professional wrestling and for people who know WWF, which is now WWE and WCW, Mr. Scott Hall, aka Razor Ramon, for people who not know, and the fame of NWO, which was his brother Kevin Nash and Hulk Hogan and all the other people. He was in that group too at one point. He tragically passed today at the age of 63. He had some health problems. From what my coworker told me, he had like some mental health. He had some health problems, and then I guess like he had 3 heart attacks. I don't know. I won't say the complete heart attacks, but I heard he had 3 heart attacks. I'm gonna go ahead and call them mini heart attacks. It got to the point where they called his family and they finally pulled the plug, and he passed away at the age of 63 today. So
now, wasn't it something about that he was supposed to be getting like a hip replacement surgery or something?
at first it was a hip replacement surgery, but it became complications from the hip surgery. Then I heard reports of him having a stroke too, so a heart attack. So all that combination, originally he was supposed to have hip surgery, but there was complications from it. In other words, they did the surgery, but there was problems, and it led to more problems, and you know the rest.
Yeah, and like I said, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, the Outsiders, him with NWO and that whole thing, that faction, and how that was the big So he would be he would definitely be missed in the wrestling world. He was definitely one of a kind. He definitely was a guy, for 6'7". So athletic. That was the thing that just made him and Kevin Nash just stand out. As big as it was, how athletic they was. It was just amazing. This was not like Eddie Guerrero or Chris Benoit, a bunch of little guys, 5'9", 5'10", 5'11". No, these dudes were 6'7" and can move. Kevin Nash, 7 feet, can move. I'm talking about these babies. Yeah. Yep. And so the last time I remember seeing him on TV, and he may have been on maybe one other time other than that, was the one where I think it was Sting. It was Sting, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall came out there, and you could tell.
Give me 1 minute. 1 minute.
Okay. Yeah, but Kevin Nash and Scott Hall and them came out there fighting Triple H, but Triple H had, what you call it, Shawn Michaels and all. Go ahead. And all his people. And so, so I just remember that when they had that match at WrestleMania where I was saying how Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Sting came out there, to support, and Triple H had his people, with all these old farts out here,
right,
gotta run around in the ring, and I'm like,
that was good. That generation was a very good generation because, like you said, as you call it, the attitude.
But you can see Scott Hall even then how he was struggling just to get down the ramp. You can see where his hip, and they was definitely giving them problems then. And so.
Like you said, later on in his wrestling career, you were right. You could see he had hip problems. He was having leg problems. Like you said, he was struggling to get down to the ring, struggling to get up to the ramp. Like you said. So,
Yeah, but it just is. This is definitely not an industry that because how much time, how much wear and tear the body takes.
Exactly.
It just is, and for any of these superstars, for what they do and stuff
Right.
like that, the cheers and the fame and all of that, and so it just, they give us joy and they give us, and then being able to see them do that most people just can't
Right.
do or won't do or just don't have or have the physical capacity to do it as long as they do it,
Exactly.
and so for them to be out there every day in and day out, and he was
Mm.
just definitely was one of a kind. So
Yep.
definitely will be missed.
He will definitely be missed, man. And it's becoming a disturbing trend of a bunch of wrestlers who are who are getting their late 50s, early 60s. It's becoming a trend where they're getting a lot of health issues because of years and years of being in a ring and their bodies being worn and torn down because they're on the road for like over like 300 days out of the year, probably more than likely.
Something like
They're
that.
not very they're not home very much. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
So
Let me
yes,
ask you, speaking
awesome.
of not being somewhere in the day, it kind of segue. What do you think about the whole thing with the whole KO and Stone Cold? I just now got privy to that whole thing. Since
Interesting. So what is it? So I've been out of this thing for a while, man. But I guess Austin. I guess does Kevin Owens have a problem with Steve Austin or something?
well, okay, so Kevin Owens, he has his whole thing, the KO show.
Yep.
And Kevin Owens is supposed to run this KO show at
Yep.
WrestleMania,
Right.
which we talking about Steve Austin. Steve, it never goes according to plan. Whatever you're trying
No,
to do with Steve Austin. Steve,
I've known this.
right. And the thing about it is, I love the promo that they cut for it.
Right.
But the promo that they cut with Steve Austin shows that even though this man hadn't been in the ring in 19 years, he can still cut a promo with the best of them. But because of the technology, like the
Hmm.
way they shot it and everything, I'm sitting there,
Yep.
I'm like, Stone Cold is old. That's the first thing I think of. But it's like I still believe that glass break, he's still gonna come in there
Yep.
because Kevin Owens was saying, been degrading, about the state of Texas and how he's been lamented. Oh, it's great to have WrestleMania, have everybody back full house and all that. He said the only thing that sucks is in Texas. So he's been bad mouthing Texas, bad mouthing Texas, bad mouthing Texas. And if you know anything about Stone Cold with Steve Austin, don't mess with Texas.
Don't mess with Texas.
Don't mess with Texas. So
Texas.
I'm
Yep.
expecting a new T-shirt when he comes out there, or whatever, or whatever he's gonna say.
Kevin,
So
yeah.
I guess
Kevin Owens
Kevin
is lucky.
Owens,
Kevin Owens is lucky that Shawn Michaels wasn't in the team because we all know Shawn Michaels is from Texas too. San Antonio.
and you also got, the Undertaker,
Him
you know.
too.
So I wouldn't be surprised Stone Cold, and then the other two come out or something, because Undertaker got to make some. To me, I think this would be perfect for, like, let's say if Kevin Owens have whoever his buddy or somebody come out in the back, whatever.
Uh-huh.
I can see where now Undertaker come. Now, I'm telling you, it would be over. And if Undertaker comes out, Undertaker, I would like for, because they're going to have to acknowledge him because it's the Hall of Fame,
Correct.
because he's getting put into the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
So they're going to have to acknowledge him. And it's got to be kind of in a way where he can kind of, acknowledge the kind of, because Undertaker in his classic persona is not going to do that.
Correct.
He's not going to do that. So the only Undertaker version of it would be the American Badass Undertaker.
Yep.
And then you're in Texas. And so you know how he had the one where he had the Texas Longhorn with the modified it.
Yep.
So that's why I said I can see, give me that, because then he can break the fourth wall and interact with the crowd, and it won't be the classic Undertaker, but I think people would get it. Fans would get it. It's like, look, you need Taker to be in one of the personas that he can interact with the audience and kind of do stuff, and something like that would be, you want the Texas, right? So the way Stone Cold made it, the way they kind of seem is like, oh well, Stone Cold is going to show up as a guest. But Stone Cold showing up to fight. He's like, look, there's a time for talking. Look, it's like, when you see the promo, like, he's like, I don't care if it's a show, wrestling match, whatever we gonna go.
Right.
Stone Cold got one more can of whoop it. You know, he gonna deliver it. And okay, well, you know
Yeah.
he. So that's why I said glass. I mean, you know, Kevin Owens is gonna probably say a whole bunch of stuff, and Stone Cold gonna set up here, and you know the whole what chance. That's what I'm expecting the pop to be, the whole what chance, because people still say it now. You know what? But
What?
I think people don't understand the fullness of when that man walk in the ring when that glass break, and they're gonna be like, "What? What?" Yeah. So I can see you looking like, "What?" So it's going to be. Hello.
Yeah. I hear you. I'm listening to you. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Oh, my mic was muted. Okay, I accidentally hit the
You're
mic.
good. No
Yeah.
problem. You go ahead. You good?
So that's why I say I expect it to be I expect it to be good. Now, some people argue, yeah, of course, you know, you got the trolls on Twitter. They argue, well, you know, what would have been a bigger pop is if he would have showed up in person and cut the promo.
I
You
agree.
know, and not even expected it. You know, I think trying to wait till WrestleMania would have been too much because let's be honest, Stone Cold is it would have been like Kevin Owens been talking about test, and you can't say that and not expect him to come out, but
Exactly.
then to hear it because
Yeah.
Stone Cold like them old guys they're going to show up for WrestleMania,
So
but
yeah, they always
it's just a matter of if they're going to be involved in it or not, and then it would have been a good debate and people would have been wondering up to the last minute. I still believe the way they know, just the anticipation of it is how they deliver it. And I think Kevin Owens is like one of those things. Because think about, you know how Kevin Owens does the stunner thing or whatever.
right.
But you know, it's still it's just one of those things that I don't know another way they could have did it to bring Stone Cold back. And if you think about it, Kevin Owens, he's clearly not even a facsimile of what Stone Cold is. But if you're going to kind of make the argument because Kevin Owens, he doesn't look like a normal wrestler. Like Stone Cold didn't look like he wasn't the Greek god like Lex Luger or Scott Hall. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Stone
Yeah.
Cold just looked like a dude that want to work on his ranch and in his off time
Yep.
showed up to wrestle. You know, he
Exactly.
didn't look like Brock Lesnar. What Brock looked like?
Or
Brock
probably
still looks like
Lashley.
a farm guy, but Brock still looks like somebody that you don't want to mess with. You know,
Or Bobby Lashley, another dude
right?
who's all
You know,
ripped.
Stone Cold was, and neither was Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens don't look like, and Kevin Owens kind of had that edge about him. So
Yep.
it was like maybe if you did the WWE 2K2, I can see where you have Kevin Owens. Now, I think Kevin Owens, like, if you want to do some kind of legacy match with Kevin Owens and Stone Cold, because you really are cutting them both from the same piece of cloth. You know, any fan wants this up. But it's just that you're never going to quite have Stone Cold. Like, when Stone Cold was the top in the industry. And then, like, when he did his, like, when he said, when he lost a round, 1, 2, 3, that was it. You know,
Yep.
people forget. That was it. Like, Stone Cold was done. He didn't
Yep.
come back and do another match. He was done
He
from
was
a
done.
match standpoint. So to do this thing and drum it up, and like I'm like, look, either it's going to be the show or it's going to be a match. If it's going to be a match, then fine, let it be a match. But if he's just going to come in, I mean, he's just done that before, where he just come in, drink a couple beers, you know,
And then leave.
drop a stunner on somebody, and then walk out on WrestleMania.
Yep.
Everybody's happy. Like the last time they was in Texas, when
Yep.
they had what was it? It was like Wade Barrett and all these other, which ironically he was like their last day in the company. And
Yep.
it's like Vince, you know, why would you do that? Because it was like
Exactly.
Wade Barrett. Oh God, like the United Nations thing, like Rusev and all that.
Yeah.
And then so
Rusev. Yeah.
Stone Cold comes out. I remember Shawn Michaels came out, super kicked somebody.
Yep.
Talk about the old farts or whatever.
Yep.
You know, so Stone Cold comes out, Shawn Michaels. Oh, who else came out? Somebody else.
There was
it
a
Mick
lot of people.
Foley or somebody?
Yeah.
Somebody else
Come out.
came out. Yeah, did
the Sacco.
with Sacco. You know, it was just like okay, it just I'll just yeah. So it is what it is. So
right.
You know.
So yeah, man. So yeah, I have a feeling that, like you said, since it's in Texas, I'm pretty sure Stone Cold is going to be there. Now, I will not be surprised if they put a twist in there where Undertaker comes out of retirement one night only, like they've been doing lately with him, anyways, in these WrestleManias and Royal Rumbles and all
Because you
these
got to
other.
find a way to incorporate Undertaker in it. You can't be in Texas. It's almost like if they come to Texas, you know Stone Cold had to be involved some kind of way.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't think they would extend it to this, but so be it.
I wouldn't either, but I'm just saying.
You know you got to involve Stone Cold in it. You got to kind of involve Undertaker, especially when he's going to be in Hall of Fame.
And
So
remember, and this is the night after his retirement, after his induction into the Hall of Fame.
right, so you know you're going to have to incorporate him some kind of way.
Somehow,
Shawn Michaels, I can kind of see because it's Texas. Now, what would have been really special? You really want to throw? You really want to get a pop? I don't know if any of these babies are living because last I checked, they didn't do this the last time it was in Texas. What if they had any of the Von Erichs show up?
Oh, you're right. They didn't do that.
Or Michael P.A. Haynes or the Fabulous Freebirds and any of them babies.
Oh, yeah, you definitely gonna get a pop out of that one.
You'll get a pop, but I think you run the risk of so many of the fans are so young, they probably don't even know who they are. They'll be like, "Who's these old farts?"
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So that's where it's like, I will, but but when that glass break, whenever the glass break, I'll be excited to hear. That's one of my few regrets in life is that I never got to see the Undertaker live because I just wanted to be in the arena once. When you hear the music and the lights cut off and all the smoke comes in and this man walks down the aisle.
Yep.
I just wanted once to be in the room to hear it.
Right.
And just.
I agree with you, man.
That's just me.
Let's see if I can put this on the screen. I'm gonna see if I can copy what I gave you on the screen for the viewers.
Yeah, you can share your screen and then pick the tab, especially if you're in Chrome. You can definitely do that.
Yeah, how do you do that? Because I'm in Chrome right now. I'm trying to figure out.
Okay, so go down to where it's like add source. No, share screen.
Where's that at?
Which is share screen. If you look at the bottom where you have your mic and your camera.
Oh, there it is. Never mind.
Yeah, share screen.
Wrong
and
one.
then you pick the Chrome tab.
Thank you. Okay. All right, there you go. I'm gonna go ahead and share it with the screen.
Okay.
That's a little too much, but okay.
All right, let me know when you got a position now. Bring it in. You got a position when you want?
Hold
nope,
up.
I saw you just take it off.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry. I have it too big. That's the problem. I'm trying to downsize it, if you know what I mean. I shared it, but it's a little too big.
Okay.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can bring it in.
Yeah, go ahead and bring it in. I have it in way too big, but go ahead and bring it in.
No, that's fine.
If you can bring it in.
Yeah, you don't see it. I got it on the screen now.
Oh, okay. Push it up a little bit so I can read it a little bit. It's kind of like, it's kind of like microphone. Micro. What's it called? Yeah, there we go. That'll work. All right. So this was news for my guy, sexy husband. For people who don't know, that'll be Chris, his wife, which is sexy wife. For people who haven't known, she hasn't done anything Cat5 wise for almost like 1.5 2 years. As it found out, this was 35 minutes ago. As you can see on the screen, he was able to find another woman for her to fight. She's a new person. I mean, new to us, according to him. But here's on the screen. So it says sexy wife versus her name is Samara Jackson. That's her name. But people don't know. Competitive cat fight, 20 minutes, no face shots or headshots, no joint locks. So people, that is the rules. So for people who are asking, everything is legal except for face shots, headshots, no joint locks. So we get that understood. Anyways, Miss Jackson, I'm gonna call her Miss Jackson because I'm gonna show her some. So Samara, let's put it this way, she's had three competitive cat fights, but they're all been private. So this is her first real competitive cat fight. So, and as y'all can see on the screen, sexy wife is 5'1", 150. Samara's 5'6", 160. That's interesting. Samara has about 5-inch height advantage, but the weights are almost the same, almost equal, 10 pounds either way. Anyways, this is gonna happen on April 9th. I think that's a Saturday, if my math is right. I think. Can you check to make sure of that? I think April 9th is a Saturday. I think. I might be wrong.
Stand by.
And while he's looking for that,
it's a Saturday, yes.
So yeah, and it will be and the sponsorship for this fight will be on Gumroad. So make sure you following Chris, and I think he said something about Sexy White. I forgot his Gumroad page, but he's on there. Make sure you making a Gumroad account. That's important. Make sure you make a Gumroad account, and then make sure you're following him. There's a link. There'll be links on here eventually too, like just like Claus Web and everybody else when they make their gun paint broaches on Twitter. There's links over there that you hit, and then you know it'll say you want to follow, and then you hit the follow button. Then it'll ask you on your website, on your email, if you want to follow, and then you say yes, and it take you right back to Gumroad, and then all the videos will be over there. So basically, if you're a fan of Sexy Wife, all of her videos that she made are on the man's page. So that's it. That is the catfight news we have right now. I have some other stuff, but it's not as big. This is breaking as of 36 minutes ago. Break thoughts.
Um, I'm kind of I'm excited. She's fighting a sister, so this will be interesting. Energy will be different. I'm just wondering, is she ready to jump out here in the deep? Because, like I said, yeah, you may have did 3 private fights, but it's like we don't know you from Adam. You 5-inch difference, which we see how Sexy Wife took out Paris, and Paris was what, another 3-4 inches taller than this girl.
Oh, well, yeah. Paris was like 5'9". I think. Yeah. So yeah, 3 inches taller. Yeah.
3-4 inch. That's why I'm like, I'm just hoping this girl she ready for the deep, because it's like, that's a lot to jump in. You jumping in on the deep end of the pool. Hope you can swim. That's one thing. Now I think we'll get our money's worth out of it. But my thing is, 20 minutes. You got to last with her. Hope you can swim, darling.
Yeah, I hope she's ready. I hope she's ready for this because you like.
Hope you can swim.
I hope you can swim. Sexy Wife is a different animal, a different opponent compared to her 3 people that she fought in competitive cat fights, private. Much different between private fights and what you call it, real cat fights. Action everywhere usually
But
these
I
days.
commend her for stepping up
Me
the
too.
pace. It's like everybody don't want that smoke. You have so many people. Okay, we'll see. You roll up on somebody like her, Exhibit A, man, please. You ain't ready for all that. Yeah, so you ain't ready for all that.
There's more news. Originally, at one point, there was a point at time that for people who don't know, she's retired now, but she had a post. I'm gonna bring that one up too. You know who it is. I think Mila. For people who don't know, the one who used to fight for Sweet Fights, her, that one, her. She's talking about doing a cat fight now. She's talking about doing a cat fight. She's looking for people to tag cat fighters for her to fight. I guess.
Whoa. Mila made a post.
Yes. Look up her name. Her name is Bad Girl. I think it's spelled Bad Girl on Twitter. Once you type it in,
Okay, hold on. Let's take this off.
she made a post. I'm being serious. I know.
You serious? She made a.
Yes, I'm serious.
Okay.
I know it's gonna be hard with you with your one eye, but I'm serious. She made a post.
I literally have to see this.
I'll give you some time, man.
I literally have to see this because I saw the thing of looking. I don't see. You said what was the name? I can't find this. What's
I'll look it up for you in a minute. Give me a minute. Okay, let me hit this page real quick. Let me jump out of here.
I know that,
Oh
ladies
yeah,
and gentlemen.
on the her name is spelled. Actually, it's you might have to censor the first 4 letters, but it's spelled Fauck dog, and then the name will pop up. You know what I mean? So pop in the tag name, and then the name will. I'll find it for.
Yeah, you may have to find
That
that.
one too. Stuff. Yeah, I got you. I'll find it. There we go.
You got it?
A minute. Give me a minute. I gotta make sure I have it right real quick.
Yeah.
And this is interesting because people started talking. As soon as she put this post out, people started talking. So
Now I know there was the thing of, I think it was Chris made a post about Sexy Wife and her,
yep, this
and which,
precipitated that. This is the one that precipitated that. If I can get this thing to work.
what it, so she made this post after he
Before.
posted his, correct?
Before.
Oh, she made this post before. Okay,
Before.
now because when I saw Chris's post, I'm sitting there, I'm like, why? Because you remember the last time that she spoke publicly on this, she had this whole thing. She was like, "Y'all take my name out your mouth. Don't ask me for nothing. Don't tag me for nothing. Don't mention me. Don't bring me in. Don't do nothing." So we all kind
It's
of
on your
left them.
screen.
Okay, all right,
Yeah, when you
bringing
bring it
it
in, it's on
in.
the screen. And then once you bring it in, I'll let you continue talking.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Tag a catfight girl in Chicago or willing to travel. Okay, so I see now. All right, cool.
Go
Because
ahead. Go ahead now. I'll shut
okay,
up now.
okay, that makes sense because it's like, wow. Because the first thing I was thinking about Chris, I'm like, why would you even bring her up? You know, because she had been adamant about. Okay, so she done said, "All right, fine." Then she done said, "Okay, then fine, then fine."
You're exactly right. I
What,
found
what,
out
what,
interesting. Yeah, I
I'm
found out
trying to
very
remember
interesting.
her stats. I know she was, when her and Sarah Brooke fought, they was both about the same height, so they're about 5'4", 5'5",
Yeah, as of right now,
and they
Mila's.
were
Yeah, go ahead.
both
As of
about the
right now,
same weight,
yeah, no, yeah,
135,
they were.
140.
Mila's a little different. I think as of right now, she's like 5'5", 140 is what she said she was. She brought that in there to
Okay,
get the full thing, but she 140. And then of course you said sexy wife said that, as you said, her husband jumped in. They tried to
um,
talk. They actually did try. I think, you know, as you said, he Chris was trying to DM her and all this stuff, and she was saying that sexy wife and her might not be a good match. Yada yada yada. Whatever.
and you think that's why Chris might have made the post is just to show, like, no, like I truly.
I'm listening. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Now, remember when we first did our very first ranking? We had
Yep.
Mala on it, and then that whole fracas with
Yep.
it. For Mala, okay, let's be fair. She fights Sarah Brooke. We've already seen that. Whoop de do. She fight Laura. I think she loses. Mala loses.
Mm,
She fights Sexy White. I'm going to say she loses that too. Now,
mm.
styles make
I agree
fights.
with you.
So now, if Mala's thing is she just feel like her style, that their styles conflict, I get it. But you can't be on the list and you ducking for. You fight Valor, she's losing. You fight
Yep.
Reagan would be a good fight.
Yes. Exactly.
You would have
Exactly.
thought it would have happened by now. You would have thought Mala and
I thought it
Reagan
was
would
going
have.
to happen.
No, you would
Surprisingly, it
have
has
thought it
not.
would have happened by now. But I think maybe their schedules just never line up.
Yep. I agree with you. You're right. The Sarah Brooke fight. You're right. We've seen it.
Yeah,
So we know what's up.
I'm going to. That's an interesting one. I think it's a toss up, but I would more lean toward Reagan.
Me too. I
I
think
would
I'm
lean
picking
toward.
Reagan slightly, but it will
I'm
be
taking
very
Reagan.
close.
Reagan would be a slight favorite just because she's been more active. Um, she fights Gia.
Oh. Mm. Actually, I think Mila might be able to beat Gia if they fought.
I have to go with that. I'll go with Gia. So that puts her at where right there 6.
Correct.
That puts her at
Correct.
6 because she definitely ain't beating Lyric,
Nope.
in any form. That's out.
Though lyric is
So
what lyric is out of her house to start with,
I
anyways.
mean,
So
right
it's not
anyway.
happening
So that's why
anyways.
I'm saying it's like that's out. Um,
So, like you said, out of all the people,
I
so
can
like you
see
said, I'll go
Alexa.
down our list. Yeah,
I
Alexa is
think she would
140.
lose to Alexa. I think she
She
would
would
lose
lose
to
to
Alexa.
Alexa. She
She'll
would
lose
lose
to
to Alexa.
Alexa. Um,
She couldn't even beat. She couldn't even beat. She couldn't even beat Nikki Darling, who was Sweet Fights. One of Sweet Fight, but she was getting her face slapped constantly. If you saw that fight, so and what does Alexa does best? She does face slapping and do it well. Mila
Yeah.
couldn't handle it then. She definitely ain't gonna handle it if she fought
Yeah.
against
So that's
Alexa.
why I'm like, you're talking about 6 or 7. I mean,
She's probably
you
7 at best
just
because all the other people we have on our list, we can't rate them too
valid,
much.
right? Like I said, valid. No, Laura. No,
No,
I think she fought Sarah Brooke again. No,
nope.
um, um yeah,
And
that's
then,
what
like you
I'm saying.
said, Alexa, no. Reagan,
No,
toss up probably.
toss up maybe. Gia, I might give you Gia.
We'll give you
Um,
Gia. And
Paris,
then she,
yes. Could she even beat Davina? No.
no, no, no. Right, because
You
like you
know
said, she's retired for what? She's been retired for what? A couple years, 2 years, 3 years.
who?
Mila,
Oh, yeah, me.
she hasn't done any cat fight for a while. Her last cat fight was for
Yeah,
Sweet Fight. That was a
yeah.
few years
So,
ago. She's more focused on her adult career,
yeah,
adult entertainment career,
it's
pretty
just.
much.
But if you make this post out there, all right, I'm gonna tell you, we gonna.
Yeah, and the day people she made this post March 7th. By the way, people, that was last week, and this was early in
Um,
the morning too. For
this time
reference.
last week,
Yep.
that was a week ago. Now let's look at some of the fringe people who I think if she wants to tune a fight, who I think she could be. I think she could be Fiona. I think she
Yep.
could be Goldie. I
Yep.
definitely know she could be Dolce.
Oh, easily. She'll beat Dolce
Easily.
easily.
Um, so it's not like she's a scrub. Not at all. She's
Not at
not
all.
a scrub. She could definitely beat Paris. She could beat
She could be Vika versus
anybody that sexy wife had fought up until now. She could beat all of them and handle it.
I agree.
Barbie baby, whatever, Ashley, whatever, all the girls is
Should be all of them.
she could be all of them. It's just like,
Yep.
I want to say this, and this would come off as almost heretical. I don't think if she wasn't retired, I don't think she could beat Tilly.
I agree with you. I know that sounds crazy because Tilly was on her retirement tour when she fought Mila, and this fight was supposed to happen like for people who don't know the backstory. This was a
Oh,
fight
they
that
were
was
supposed to fight?
they were supposed to fight earlier. I'm talking about years ago. Before the last Tilly's second to last cat fight. She was supposed to fight her like 2 years ago, but something happened. I don't know what happened with them.
Because I don't think she could. I don't think she could have beat Tilly.
No,
If Tilly hadn't retired, I don't think she could have beat Tilly.
that's my point. That's the whole point. If she had fought Tilly in her prime, like the 2 or 3 years before she decided to retire, Tilly will beat her, man.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Now,
Yeah, go ahead.
this is where the horns come out. You think Tilly would come out of retirement to fight Mila?
No, I think she's
You
she's
think
to the
she's
point.
done?
I think she's really, really done. I think she's starting to enjoy her thing, her life of just being a model, freelance model, fetish model,
and producing. Okay.
and producing.
But I'm like, if there was ever,
Yeah, if there was ever a fight for her to come
you
back,
can't. If there was one to come back for,
this will be it.
this would be it. If there was one, because that's a kind of unfinished business thing. It's like
Yeah.
Tilly pretty much fought everyone that she had. That one was one of the ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I agree. If Tilly's gonna come out, if Tilly's gonna come out of retirement, this is definitely the rematch. It has to be this one.
It has to be somebody worth it, like what she
Yep.
did with Gia Love. If you're going to come out, it's got to be somebody. Win or lose, it's got to be somebody that's worth it.
Yep.
I want to say Mala's worth, especially if Mala comes out with something this year. I'll say this: let's say Mala comes out and she fight. I think now today, if you would have told me we're gonna spend, ladies and gentlemen, a small side note, we had a very, very, very short production meeting about the show before we started. That was less than 5 minutes. And at no point did we ever bring up Mala, nor did I think we would ever spend almost 10 minutes talking about Mala in any capacity today.
True.
But I digress. Okay, we back.
It's okay.
Let's say in Mala now we know June is getting crowded because we already got Reagan with her shoot was Savannah Fox with the mystery opponent, and you already got the 4-way. It could be a 5-way, 6-way. I'm expecting it to be a Royal Rumble by the time we get to June.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That fight, the Royal Rumble, the Bronx Rumble in the Jungle, Rumble in the Bronx. That's what I'm gonna call it for right now. Rumble in the Bronx. And so at this point, if she was to fight somebody by June,
right,
and she does well, like perform well, it got to depend on who it is. Because, like I said, we've already established we think the half dozen people she can't beat, and I'm pretty sure she could beat everybody else. Mm-hmm. That would be one where I'd strike up the band, like Tilly, if that's for the sake of the business, for the sake of the culture and the art. But she have to ultimately make that call. But there was ever somebody, she popped that head back out, Mala, call that one out. And then, especially when she made the post like this, call it out. Call it out. I'll be like this. Call it out. Call it out. That I will argue if Tilly was to challenge and call her out, I think it would be the fastest funded match in the industry.
Agree. I agree.
I truly believe that.
I agree because we all know that Mila, because like you said, everybody knows, number one, that Mila's not going to do any cat fight unless it's, money. It has to be like you said, the status, what, $1,000? It has to be something of that and maybe more for her. We're talking about Mila.
Right.
And Tilly, same thing with Tilly. Tilly would just, man, for this.
I truly believe it'd be the fastest fundamental. Now, if we're going to talk about, that's why I'm saying we're going with the set. Sarah Brooke, we've seen that. I don't think the appetite is there. Laura Cross, she's not in that class. She's out.
No.
Valor,
She just started. She's not even in the class right now.
Valor,
not yet. I need to see a little bit more matches before I can speak on her.
Who, from Valor?
I mean, she hasn't done anything in a minute. I'm not saying she can't do it. I just like to see, I want to see what she does against tougher, more high. Yeah, someone like, we would like to see what she does against, like, I'm talking about the top of the top. I'm no disrespect to G. I'm talking about, I want to see her, how she does against Sarah Brooke and all that stuff before I can say,
Okay. I think Valor could come out right now. And
I know.
And then beat her right now in whatever shape Valor's in. But
she's
I'm just saying.
Right, but don't get me wrong. She's definitely losing Valor still. My opinion. I'm like you. She's still going to lose.
But if you wanted to be about the money, it just Valor is just Valor is just hardcore, man. Valor's gonna come in there and it's Valor. You're going to get good product out of Valor. You're gonna get 20 minutes of a beating with Valor. Reagan, I think, could do well.
Yeah, but
I think it'd be it's just
the thing is, Reagan is her focus, right? Like you said, she got so many things with her podcast, and then this also.
Yeah, Reagan does have a lot going on, but I still don't think that would stop her from trying.
I don't think so either. That would be that's the only match I feel that is most evenly matched, right? Yeah. That one, and then if the Tilly versus Mila match happens, those are the only ones I think.
I think those would be the two that she can go, because with Mila, it's going to be the back. Mila's not making this post if it's not about the back. I don't think it's for the love. Okay, like Shogun Rua said, I don't fight for money. I fight for the love of the sport.
Correct.
I don't deny that. I think there's, even when you look at some of the Fat Pharaoh matches and some of the interviews with Mila, with those more so than sweet fights, I think maybe because at the beginning she was just newer to it. I want to say, I think Mila, there's a small part of her that likes doing it because she's good at it. It's one thing to do it because you like it, another thing to do it because you're good at it.
Correct.
I think part of this is just me. This is my observation. It looks like part of it okay, I'm good at it. Oh, and I can make some really good money. But I think at some point it got to be, well, you got other priorities in life now and stuff. And so I want to do more than just fight. And because sometimes all it could just take is a bad fight or a fight that just went badly. And you're like, you know what? I don't need this. And it can really just sour you. But who knows? But whatever. Maybe this is the part of her. And I'll be the optimist in this group. And
I'm
I'll
going
say,
to be
okay,
optimistic too.
I said, let's just say, you know what? She kind of missed that thrill of grabbing somebody by the hair. It's something like Emma
Yep.
has said, and different ones have posted. It's something about having another woman's hair in your head,
Yep.
hair in your hands, and just being able to do what. It's something about it. There's a high, there's a drug to it that you just.
Yep.
Very few things in life you can get.
Yes, guys. Side note on, like he said, side note on, I think we spent, side note, we didn't expect this to come out when we did this, but it's now, I think it's 20 or 25 minutes we spent on Mila. I guess it's time for us to move on.
Right.
We're done with that. So I'm going to stop I'm going to go ahead and kick this out for a minute, bring us back on. Here we go. So now, okay, update on Alexa Brooks situation, because there's a lot of people that have been asking about Alexa Brooks and all that stuff. As most people know, I ain't gonna say too much on it. It's a personal issue. She's taking some time. Give the young woman a break. She's gone through a lot, and I know this feeling because I have gone through it too. So give her a break. In due time, when she's comfortable, she'll get back to you. Calm. Cat Fight fans, this is the time when you need to respect the fighters' wishes and all that stuff, and give them space.
Okay.
You're not in a situation. It's completely different. People act different in different ways when it comes to mourning and all this stuff. So calm. So I'm gonna say about that. So I have to say that because one of her people came on the page and they were asking what's going on that stuff, and they said it, and I'll leave it at that because I'm going to show her some respect on that situation and leave it there.
Yeah.
And as the man said, now onto a little bit of news for people who haven't noticed already. Uh, I'm not even going to say her name. Y'all already know who it is. The four-way thing. Now she's talking about doing a face sitting thing. Adding now. Your thoughts? We all know that you're a fan of face sitting, but I guess she wants to add a face sitting competition after this. I don't know. That's the
I
last thing.
don't I don't get it. Is it a okay?
I don't get it either. I'm just reading what was on
Right,
what.
because it's like now if this is a penalty round, like the loser, and then
Yeah, I
with the
think this is a
being
penalty now.
4 people, so the winner will face sit each of the other 3 girls.
It's
I
possible,
don't
man.
know.
I think
I
it's a
don't know.
penalty
I don't
round thing.
know.
It's a
I
penalty
don't
round
know.
thing, so maybe.
I think she'll just once she explains it more in depth. That
Yeah, well, I'll wait for her to explain it more in depth. I'm just reading what was on her thing. So yeah, when it comes to Catfight news, that's it right now, pretty much. So yeah, so that's it on that. Let's see anything else of note when it comes to the fight game. Oh yeah, one of the UFC people champions said before I forgot the guy name. Was it Kobe Covington? Yeah. So before Kobe Covington fights Kamar Usman, Usman's like, I need you to beat this person, this person, this person, then come fight me. So basically, what Kamar Usman said is you have to beat 3 different people before I give you a fight, a rematch. Because the first time they fought, Usman beat him by via submission. I forget what round it was, but so
how many times did Usman and Covington fight?
I think they fought only once that I
Okay,
know.
so in order to get a rematch, so Usman is putting them through like this, like
The gauntlet.
the gauntlet. Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
all
you
right.
have to be. I forgot their name, but he said you got to be this person, you got to be this person, and then I give you the thing, because Kamar, as we all know, Kamar Usman is a beast. Everybody knows this. He have to beat a lot of people to get his
Yeah, so
title.
he already beat Masvidal, which
Yep.
I was rooting for Masvidal. So
Yeah, me too, man.
I was rooting for
That was
Masvidal.
disappointing,
I
man.
just like
Masvidal clearly got out wrestled by Covington.
yeah,
And that was only about a lot in
Covington.
the fight.
It's almost like when you hear the little stories and like stuff that happened at the America's Top Team and how
Yep.
all of this stuff and this persona changed.
Yep.
It's almost like it's like a monster was created, kind of
Correct.
thing.
Correct.
And it's like whether this Kobe Covington act, how it was I mean, because Usman humbled him. Like when you got you out by submission, Usman humbled him. So
Yep.
I just don't know if this is gonna be at what okay, because if Usman was to take him out again, I could see what this could be kind of bad. It's like, well, how far can you go with the shtick? You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
I, I think this is kind of like with a lot of things like professional wrestling.
Yep.
It's one of those things that this is a small part of him, but it's amplified times
Right.
10 because
Right.
it's a fight game. You got to be swagger and bravado and all this other stuff.
Right.
So,
Yes, sir. And also in more MMA news, I guess Masvidal and I heard something about Masvidal and Conor McGregor. Interestingly enough, I guess according to Kel Shawnee, he wants to see that fight between these two. Which, as we all know, McGregor's very outspoken. Masvidal is another thing. These two guys don't like each other. I'm pretty sure that was an explosive fight. I don't know. Conor McGregor had a
is
picture.
Masvidal heavier?
Yeah, but I
But
think Conor McGregor said something effective. I read one of his posts. He said, "I am in the best shape of my life. I'm starting to get in the best shape of my life." So he's trying to take things serious. So yeah, he might have to move up and wait to meet up with Masvidal. But Dana White, he loves these kind of combative
yeah,
storylines.
when you got two guys that's as popular as these two
And the fans
um,
want, and I bet you
and
the fans will want it.
the
When
fans will want, and they both have fought. What was it, Nick Diaz?
Nate Diaz, yes.
Nate
Is it
Diaz,
Nick or Nate?
Nate,
Nate.
man, Nate. That's a dude. That's a dude. That's a dude, man. You talk about somebody that likes to fight. And I
I mean,
remember Conor was like, the first time when Conor fought him, Conor lost to him. Conor was like, he's a bigger man. He said, bigger man, I got to do more than just punch him. He said, my left hand has dropped every man that's standing in front of. That's a bigger man. That dude. He said, I had to do more, and I didn't have it today. But when he came back in that rematch, he was like,
yep,
okay, I know what I got to do now. Because just trying to,
yep,
he's too heavy. He's too heavy just to try to pop. And them extra 10, 20, 25 pounds make a difference. When you talk
right,
about, man, and somebody like Nate Diaz who loves to fight, like
yep,
he's a dude that he don't duck. He
right,
don't duck. He'll take a fight short. No, they hear that. Nate Diaz, I'm like, this fool here is he just loves to fight.
right.
So so we'll see. So Covington got one out the way. So I don't know what the other two names are.
I forgot their
So,
names, but
but
there's a
I mean,
few.
if you think about it with Usman, the way he's kind of writing it out, he almost would have to. It almost would be like a year and a half if you really think about it. Because you
Yep,
fight dudes every 6 months,
yep,
Yeah, you could do every 3 to 4 months, but that's not ideal.
not at
You
all.
know, unless you jump in there short notice, like you just fought somebody last month, and then hey, you need a jump in replacement. All right, well, I just came off of it. I can
Yep,
jump right back in, ramp right back up. You know,
yep. You're right. That's not. It's not. This is not boxing where you can fight, have a fight in 3 months and come back and like you said, it used to be 3 months. Now it's 6 months. Like MMA boxing is like the same right nowadays. They don't fight so quick like boxing. It's like have a fight, wait 6 months, have another fight. It's like two fights in a
yeah.
year now.
So if he wants these three, then you talking about legitly. So that was February, 6 months August, 6 months February. You talking about maybe August, summer of
Yes.
2023 at the
Yep.
earliest. And
Correct.
that's given everything goes according to plan. But you know how the fight game is. Nothing goes
No,
according to plan. Let's
nothing
let's
goes to
say
plan.
let's say for sake of argument, Coleman done fought two of these dudes
Yep.
and beat them, soundly where, either unanimous decision or by knockout or by submission.
Yep.
And Usman's supposed to fight somebody and they
Yep.
drop off.
Yep.
And there's enough time for Covington to kind of jump in and all right, well, we're gonna give them I can see Dana pulling that and say,
Me too.
we ain't gonna even wait for the third one. We just gonna go ahead and give them the fight.
Correct. I can see that
And
too.
then Usman may not have much to say about it if your opponent drop out.
Correct. Uzman, if you're a champion, you gotta fight the man, right? If someone dropped out, you're gonna have to fight the man.
Whether you were gonna fight him now or fight him your next title defense was gonna be against him. Either way it go, and it's
It
like
has
if
to
I'm
happen, man.
Usman, then so be it. Then so be it.
Yeah, if I'm Uzman, man, I'm the champion, man. If they say I gotta fight, I gotta fight the man. It is what it is. So that's how it goes, like you said.
This ain't like a Nagano situation where you injured and you going out like on a vacation match. It's just like
Right.
I'm gonna win the belt, but I'm gonna have to drop it because I gotta have surgery. I gotta have
Ooh, yeah, that's true.
you're gonna be out for over a year. So
With that being said, everybody, I don't think we have anything more to say. I think we've time to wrap up the show,
yeah.
correct? Pretty much. Okay, socials times. As everybody knows, my socials, I could be reached at as he pops them up because I'm trying to think off the top of my head. So I could be reached on Clem Akufo 3000 on IG or Clem Akufo on Twitter. Facebook, I'm sort of getting back into it, but it's not really, central.
And I can be reached at Carswell on Twitter and IG. Yes, I still have the IG account. It's going moderately strong right now. Also, I could be reached for the site on Gumroad. We've had a couple of sales so far, and we've had some people that's have came and support. So I thank all of you who have come and support, and we're looking forward to putting more stuff out.
And by the way, guys, I'm going to be. I am. As everybody see my post, I've already pushed people. I've already put people's names in there. He's one of them. So go on out, support these people, man, please, and do it correctly. Buy the videos from them directly. It's
And
better
I
that way. Go ahead.
and I thank you for that post because like one of them I didn't even know about. Like one of the ladies, and she ended up following me on it. Um, the one that does like the pro wrestling or does and she does some cat fights and all that.
Yep.
I forgot. Oh, I forgot her name. Oh
Queen
my.
Rita.
Yes. I didn't know. I didn't know that she had a Gumroad page. And so I spent time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, looking at the page and stuff like that. So I'm
You're
excited.
welcome.
Been excited so far.
You're welcome. By the way, I didn't know Tilly had a Gumroad page. She told me through a text she had it. I'm just waiting. I'm just trying to
Really?
see. That's what she told me. You might want to follow up on that and text her. But she's gonna be out of town. She's gonna be in. She's with Bay 5 this week, so you might want to text her anyways and see. I know it's a bombshell, but go ahead and do that, right? And see what's the deal with that.
I mean, I would think.
I know she uses a lot of her thing on clips for sale, but if I was her, I would be using Gumroad. You get more Cat5
Yeah.
people there, fans. That's just my opinion. I don't know if she's on there, but I'm just saying. Send her a text, see what she says. If it's true,
Yeah,
then support.
because so it would just be a matter of what would she call it.
Exactly.
You know.
So, like I said, on Gumroad, make sure you support Adam, support Chris, Queen Rita, models. For people who don't like catfighting, models wrestling's over on there. Oh yeah, one more announcement: Mexican catfight, him too. He's on there also. And speaking of Mexican catfight,
Yes.
his wife is back in action, or will be back in action.
Okay.
I'm not announcing it completely yet because not all the details have been completed. But he posted it on his Twitter page.
Okay.
It's gonna be I think his wife Valentina and a new girl called I can't say her name, but it starts with a Y. It seems like the new girl she agreed to the fight. They're just trying to figure out the details, but stay tuned. It's not posted on his Gumroad page because the details are not out. When it comes out, it'll be on his page, people. So that's
Okay.
that. And he's hoping to have it done this. I don't know if he's gonna have it this month or next month, but stay tuned on that. Watch the space. With that being said, the show again, the second and fourth Mondays of every month. Again, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, 8:30 p.m. Central time, 6:30 Pacific time. Again, we want to thank everybody. You're good. We want to thank everybody, all of our people for watching, for listening, for all the people who are going to watch it later, watch it back later. With that being said, my name is Clem Kufo, and for my guy Klaus Webb, we are out until March 28th. For people who don't know,
Yep.
that's in the time of the March Madness college basketball scene. So March 28th. Have a good one. Peace.
All righty.